Imagine consuming 17 teaspoons of sugar every single day. Sounds outrageous, right? Yet, that's the average amount an American adult consumes daily. 17 teaspoons. That's like eating 2.5 chocolate bars. And we're not just talking about the sugar you sprinkle on your morning cereal or in your coffee. This includes hidden sugars, the ones lurking in your so-called healthy foods and beverages. Sugar, as we know it, comes in two forms: natural and added. Natural sugars are those found in fruits, vegetables, and dairy products. They're accompanied by fiber, water, and various beneficial compounds. Then, there's the added sugar, the villain of our story. These are sugars and syrups that are added to foods or drinks when they're processed or prepared. It's this type of sugar that's causing havoc on our health. So why all the fuss about added sugar? Well, unlike natural sugars, added sugars contribute zero nutrients, but many added calories that can lead to extra pounds or even obesity, thus increasing the risk of heart disease. It's like a Trojan horse, promising sweetness but delivering a host of health problems. Now, you may be thinking, but I don't eat sweets, so I must be safe. Well, don't be so sure. Added sugars are sneaky. They're in places you'd least expect, like your favorite salad dressing, your healthy whole grain bread, and even that can of tomato soup you love. In this video, we'll expose the hidden truth about sugar. We'll delve into its impact on our health, explore the surprising places it hides, and discuss how we can make smarter food choices. We're not here to scare you, but to educate and empower you with the facts you need to take control of your sugar intake. So strap in as we uncover the hidden truth about sugar and its impact on our health. Do you know that soft drink you enjoy during lunch? It may be contributing more to your waistline than you think. Imagine this. You've just finished a hearty meal and you're feeling a bit thirsty. A cold can of your favorite sugary drink seems like the perfect way to quench that thirst. But have you ever stopped to think about what that drink might be doing to your body? Let's talk about it. High sugar consumption, especially from liquid sources like sodas, juices, and energy drinks, is a major contributor to obesity. Essentially, when you consume more sugar than your body can use for energy, it gets stored as fat. Here's an example to put things into perspective. The average can of soda contains around 9 teaspoons of sugar. Now, picture those 9 teaspoons of sugar in a bowl. It's quite a lot, isn't it? And yet, it's so easily consumed in just a few gulps of a soft drink. That's not all. When you drink these sugary beverages, you don't feel as full as you would if you ate the same amount of calories from solid food. So you end up eating the same amount of food as you would have without the drink, leading to a surplus of calories. Over time, this surplus can lead to significant weight gain. Now, let's not demonize sugar entirely. It's a necessary part of our diet, but it's the overconsumption that becomes a problem, especially when it's hidden in our beverages. So, next time you're about to reach for that can of soda, remember the hidden cost. Not just the change from your pocket, but the invisible price your body pays. It's not about completely cutting out these drinks from your life. It's about making informed decisions and understanding that every choice has a consequence. Next time you reach for that sugary drink, think about the invisible price your body pays. Sugar, it's more than just a sweet delight. It's a potent force that can reshape our health. Ever wonder how something so pleasing can lead to a health issue as serious as type 2 diabetes? Let's journey through a day in the life of a sugar enthusiast. Imagine this. A day started with a breakfast of frosted cereal, orange juice, and a blueberry muffin. It's tempting, right? But here's the twist. All these delightful treats brimming with sugar. As the day unfolds, a caramel latte beckons for a mid-morning boost, a soda accompanies lunch, and a chocolate bar serves as an afternoon pick-me-up. For dinner, there's glazed ham, and of course dessert, a hearty slice of apple whole. Now, each time we partake in these sweet indulgences, our bodies respond by releasing insulin, but a constant sugar onslaught is like a persistent insulin alarm. Eventually, our bodies may grow deaf to this alarm, leading to elevated blood sugar levels, and potentially, if not managed, type 2 diabetes. But here's the empowering part. The foods mentioned are merely the tip of the sugar iceberg. Many foods that don't scream sugar, like bread, ketchup, even salad dressings, can be loaded with hidden sugars. So our sugar enthusiast might be consuming far more sugar than they realize. This is the heart of the challenge. Sugar in its many disguises is everywhere, and it's not just about steering clear of obvious offenders like candy and soda. It's about being proactive, vigilant about less conspicuous sources, and making informed decisions about what we nourish our bodies with. Remember, the allure of sugar might be a siren's call leading to a health storm. So the next time you're tempted by a sweet treat, remember, it's not just about the calories or the tooth decay. It's about embracing the opportunity to make healthier choices that could transform your relationship with sugar from a bitter encounter into a sweet victory. Did you know that sugar can break your heart, and not just metaphorically? Hear this. Sugar is not just about cavities or a thicker waistline. It's a matter of heart, quite literally. Our sweet little friend sugar, when consumed in excess, can lead to heart disease. Yes, you heard that right. The sweet moments of indulgence could end up leaving a bitter aftertaste. Let's take Joe as an example. Joe loves his sugary sodas and cookies. He can't imagine a day without them. But while Joe's sweet tooth is satisfied, his heart is under constant stress. With every bite and sip, he's fueling the fire of inflammation in his body, and it's his heart that's bearing the brunt of it. You see, the sugar Joe consumes is quickly converted into glucose and fructose. While glucose is used up by the body for energy, fructose is another story. A large part of it ends up in the liver, where it's converted into fat. This fat can then enter the bloodstream as triglycerides, contributing to the fatty buildups in the arteries that we know as plaque. Over time, this plaque can harden and narrow the arteries, a condition known as atherosclerosis. And this, my friends, is a one-way ticket to heart disease. Now picture this. A narrow, congested highway with cars trying to speed through. That's what happens to the blood trying to flow through the hardened, narrow arteries. The heart has to work overtime to pump blood through these restricted passages, often leading to high blood pressure, another risk factor for heart disease. So the next time you reach for that extra soda or cookie, remember, Joe. Remember that the momentary sweetness could lead to a lifetime of heartache. It's a bitter pill to swallow, but reducing sugar in your diet could be the key to a healthier heart. A heart that's sweet on sugar might be headed for a bitter end. Ever had a toothache from a cavity? Sugar might be the culprit behind your dental woes. Picture this. You're at a birthday party, and you've just bitten into a piece of that delectable chocolate cake. It's sweet, it's soft, it's everything your taste buds have been craving. But what you don't realize is that as you're relishing that piece of cake, there's a war being waged in your mouth. Now let's zoom into that scenario a bit. The sugar in that cake combines with the bacteria present in your mouth, creating a potent mix that forms an acid. This acid is not your friend. It's like the villain in a superhero movie, always up to no good. It begins to attack your teeth, specifically the enamel, which is the hard, protective outer layer. When the enamel is frequently exposed to this acid, it starts to lose minerals, a process known as demineralization. It's like a fortress under siege, gradually losing its strength. And if the attack continues without any intervention, the fortress, or in this case your tooth enamel, eventually gives in. The result? Cavities. But it doesn't stop there. If left untreated, the decay can spread deeper into the tooth, causing pain and even tooth loss. It's like a horror movie that starts with a slice of cake and ends with a toothless grin. So while that piece of cake might be calling your name, it's essential to remember the potential consequences. Brushing and flossing after meals, using fluoride toothpaste, and regular dental checkups can help you maintain your pearly whites. Remember, sugar is like that deceptive friend who seems fun at the party, but leaves you with a massive headache the next day. It's not about eliminating sugar entirely, but more about understanding its impact and making mindful choices. A sweet tooth might lead to a toothless grin. So, next time you reach for that sugary treat, think about the war you're starting in your mouth. Is it worth it? Think you don't consume much sugar? Think again. Let's embark on a little journey through our everyday food and drink choices, shall we? Take a simple breakfast of cereal and orange juice. A wholesome start, right? But did you know that a single serving of your favorite morning cereal can contain up to 4 teaspoons of sugar? And that fresh orange juice? It's not as innocent as it seems. packing up to 9 teaspoons of sugar per glass. Now, that's a sugary start to your day. Let's move on to lunch. A sandwich, maybe some yogurt for dessert. Sounds pretty healthy, right? Well, not so fast. That seemingly harmless sandwich bread can have up to a teaspoon of sugar per slice. And the yogurt, even if it's labeled low-fat or natural, it can contain up to 6 teaspoons of sugar. Feeling thirsty? Be careful what you reach for. Even drinks labeled as diet or zero can contain artificial sweeteners, which can trick your body into craving more sugar. And let's not even get started on those fancy coffee drinks, which can contain a whopping 25 teaspoons of sugar. Now on to dinner. A jar of pasta sauce seems like a convenient option, right? But did you know it can contain up to 12 teaspoons of sugar? And that low-fat salad dressing? It's often loaded with sugar to make up for the lack of fat. Even our snacks aren't safe. From granola bars to dried fruit and even healthy smoothies, the sugar content can be off the charts. So what's the takeaway here? It's simple. Sugar isn't just in our desserts. It's hidden in our everyday foods and drinks, often where we least expect it. It's not about demonizing sugar, but about being aware, reading labels, and making informed choices. Sugar is everywhere, lurking in the most unexpected places. But now that you're armed with this knowledge, you're one step closer to taking control of your health. With sugar lurking everywhere, can we ever escape its sweet clutches? This might seem like a daunting question, but let's take a moment to ponder it. Is it possible to live in a world where sugar doesn't dominate our diets? Well, the short answer is yes, it is. Now let's delve into how we can make that happen. First and foremost, awareness is key. We need to be able to identify the hidden sugars in our foods. For instance, did you know that a can of your favorite soda can contain up to 9 teaspoons of sugar? That's more than a day's worth of sugar in just one drink. Next, let's talk about making better dietary choices. It's not about completely eliminating sugar from our diets, but rather reducing our intake. Instead of reaching for that soda, why not opt for water or unsweetened iced tea? And instead of that sugary cereal for breakfast, how about a bowl of oats topped with fresh fruits? Also, let's not forget about portion control. Consuming large quantities of sugary foods and drinks can lead to an overload of sugar in our system. So, keep portions in check. A small piece of dark chocolate can satisfy your sweet tooth just as well as a large piece of cake, but with far less sugar. And finally, let's talk about preparation. Cooking meals at home allows us to control what goes into our food. This way, we can limit the amount of sugar we consume. For example, homemade tomato sauce tends to have less sugar than store-bought versions. So, is it possible to escape the sweet clutches of sugar? Absolutely. It might require some changes to our dietary habits, but it's a small price to pay for a healthier future. After all, a life less sweet might be the key to a healthier future. As we've seen, sugar can be a sweet poison that wreaks havoc on our health. We've delved into the hidden truths about sugar, its sticky connections to our health problems, and the sweet disaster it's causing in our bodies. It's been a bitter pill to swallow, realizing how our favorite sweet treats could be our worst nightmares. We've also seen how sugar and sugary drinks have infiltrated almost every aspect of our diet. They're omnipresent, concealed in the most unsuspecting places. The question isn't whether we can completely avoid them, but how we can consume them in moderation and make healthier choices. So here's a thought. Next time you're about to indulge in that sugary treat, will you think twice? What about that can of soda? Maybe opt for a glass of water or a piece of fruit instead? Let's stir up a conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful videos.